Hello everyone, I'm Marco and today we're reviewing the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings figures, Wave 1 of Legolas and Gimli, and I'm very excited to bring you guys these two impressive looking figures. So let's get right to it. So first off, right off the bat, when receiving these, first impressions were finally we're getting some new merchandise for Lord of the Rings figures, because the last we'd seen was a Bridge Direct, and so I was pretty excited to get these. Actually, I was a bit I wasn't sure if I should at first, just because I'm very big into like the sculpt and like the details, and I really want to deliver. I've never really been like a huge Diamond Selects toys collector. So when I saw these, I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. Like, just because I liked some of the details that I saw like in the first prototype picture. So I figured I'd get them, for $29.99 or $24.99. Not bad. But yeah, finished up boiling these guys, so for better articulation, I don't want it to break during the review too. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna be doing first the details, and I'm gonna start off with Legolas, because I kind of been waiting for this. And man, look at this amazing sculpt. And I really love how they captured Orlando Bloom's face in this. I mean, the hair, the details on the hair and the braids is just amazing. And I'll get to these actually in a bit. And look at this quiver. Very much like to the Mirkwood Legolas Woodland Realm weaponry Toybus figure. Kind of reminds me of. Man, something about this figure that I love is that they really took their time to create all the very tiny details, like in the boots, to the wrist, and I'm sure you guys could see. Though it's a little dark because the wrists are a little bit dark. But all the details from the straps to the belt, very much alike to a Toy Biz. And you could tell the sculptor, perhaps took a lot of pointers from references and pictures, and something I really liked about this figure as far as like the details go. And something that I really love was the arrows, actually, which is something that I always look out for, especially when it comes to the Toy Biz figures. And even way back, when it first came out, something that I really love about the figures was the different types of arrows that would come with each specific figure, from the orcs to the elves and lords, and the fletchings and the bullet points and all that. And when these came through, I was pretty fascinated and happy that they went with like the right sized fletchings to the nock. Even shows like a little tiny nock, and I believe it even has a little, yeah, it's like a little imprinted line like for the nock, so you're able to put it into the bow and string. And then the bullet point, I love how it goes down the shaft and it becomes very thin, stays with the proportions of the shaft, so it's not sticking out. It's like this big bulgy, kind of like Toy Biz has gone on most of the arrows points. So it's something that I really loved about these arrows. And then this bow, the same thing. It's like it came out very beautiful in the fact that they not only painted the details, but they actually sculpted in those details from what it seems. Very capturing. And I love that dark wood color. Makes it, and gives it a very natural feel to his bow too. One thing that I was a little, and I'm sure most actually that when I first got these figures complained about was Legolas not having his knives, which is a pretty big thing because his knives are obviously something that he uses throughout his films, and he's known for as well to his character. And so he didn't actually come with knives, so I actually had to get two that I had from the Hobbit's Bridge Direct, which were actually a little bit bigger than the Mirkwood Legolas and some other knives that I've seen. So what I did was that I actually dremeled the pieces to a little bit more edge, so they were able to fit, and with the hot water method, it made it a little bit more easier for them to be able to put in as well. So that's something that I added, which wasn't too big of a deal for me. Now we're gonna start with Gimli with the details, and well, first impressions on this one was, wow, like incredible work on all this fine detail and scope work. Like I really love how the sculpt delivered and all the tiny details, like on his back to his helmet. I mean, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Gotta love that sculpt and those details. Even on the boots themselves as well. Gosh, I love that. Anyway, so this figure actually is probably my favorite from this wave so far. I mean, I love the Legolas, of course, but the details on this Gimli is just amazing, from his helm to his hair to his face to his boots, and almost every single part of this figure is very highly detailed. Something that I very much appreciate to his character. Wow, look at that. So now let's take a look at these amazing. I'm actually looking at this for the first time, so I'm kind of awed at the moment. Look at that. Wow. And these are actually quite huge. I mean, compared to the Toy Biz, these, I mean, look at that. Enormous. Quite accurate size, actually. And very detailed. It's quite random, actually. I noticed too that this one was a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more wood-like than these others. I'm not sure if it was probably like a painting error, or maybe it was just meant to be like this. But other than that, I really love the details on this. Something cool that he comes with as a other accessory was actually two other hands, closed hands, so he's able to hold his weapons apart the open hands, which is something that Legolas didn't actually come with, and so it's really cool. I really like that. Alright, so for articulation for Legolas, he seems to be in ball joint actually that he's on, which is really cool. So, he's able to go side to side, look up that much, practically almost down all the way too. And his hair is actually quite flexible too, so I'm pretty sure you could actually, oh yeah, you can. It's a little flexible, like move it around all the way for you know, nice poses for when he's shooting arrows. So he has a ab crunch that goes practically nowhere. It's a little bit difficult to articulate that area. But you can tell he does go quite a little bit back rather than forward. See, arms go outwards about this much. Cool. Ooh, a little tight. Single jointed elbows. You can swivel side to side. And regular swivel joints, wrist. And something that I didn't quite understand was why his trigger hand was on his left hand actually, and his closing hand on the right. As you all know, he shoots arrows from his left hand, so it actually makes too much sense to me. And it seems quite hard to get him to a proper pose to be able to shoot arrows if you're just trying to pose them too. Which actually, it's not too much of a problem. As a customizer myself, I could I'll definitely be adding that, probably cutting up like the sleeves a little bit to give him a little bit more articulations, so he comes out a little bit more closer to his face. And because I know when Legolas shoots his arrows, his hand's obviously a little bit more closer to the side of his cheek, or right. So legs, articulation seems a little bit quite difficult because we have a very, it's a light plastic, but at the same time it's a little thick. You see right there, his cloth is actually very somewhat thick. With some nice water, you can actually, look at that. Look at those legs. That's another thing I didn't really like. The fact that his legs literally grow skinny as they go up, which I'm sure is something a lot of people perhaps complained about. But, it's not too much of an issue for me. I was already planning on resculpting these legs too. So it seems that his legs right here, wow, it's a very interesting joint. I've never actually seen one like this. Looks almost like he's on a ball peg actually. So he's able to kind of go up. And this one's actually like almost no articulation. It's like in a single leg joint actually. Probably goes that much. I'll definitely be fixing that. So his toes go up and down with his boots. You see it to swivel side to side. Ooh, look at that. Up and down. Cool. And I think that's about it. Alright, so with Gimli, it's a little bit more different. He seems to be in a ball joint, just as Legolas. What I liked about this one is that he actually has a bicep swivel. So he's actually able to move it around, even though this would kind of somewhat prevent him. Actually, no. I think he could actually go all the way around. And then he has a single elbow joint, which goes all the way around. Just cool. And his legs go up and down. Seems to be on a single joint too, but actually bends, because I like that they actually cut that out. I think Legolas is a little bit more Well, it's more inwards actually. So I'll go swivel side to side. I think, let's see, up and down 2. Yeah, so up and down 2. Don't want to risk that. There you go. Yeah, and that's about it. It's not the best articulation, you know, but for Diamond Select collectors, I'm pretty sure it's quite similar to most of the figures. I do have an Avatar Aang figure, which I think is about the only Diamond Select figure that I have, because I'm a huge Avatar fan too. And yeah, and other than that, I really love the production of these two figures, and something that I liked about these figs were the fact that they come with build-apart parts to build your own Sauron, and it's amazing because you know, Gimli comes with this helmet, this amazing looking helmet. I mean, look at that detail. No. Water boiling method will fix that properly. But I mean, look at those details. I feel like it very much captures Sauron from the original film in the prologue. I really like that. Look at that. It's very great work on that. And then Legolas comes up with his arm and his wrist. And something that I first noticed was that the fact that I love like the fact that his arm's just kind of sticking out, like in the very scene with Isildur when he's about to, you know, grab him. So I love the fact that they, you know, kind of added that. And then all the little tiny details on him, you know, it's like just amazing. Just as the Toy Biz version, I always found it very impressive too. A very nice color paintwork to this his leg actually. Something that I very much liked. And perhaps I'll probably still be repainting him, but I really like the colors that they shows on the Sauron. It's such an incredible size actually. I mean, his leg is literally almost as tall as Gimli over here. And then compared to the Toy Biz version, which I have right here actually, just wow. I mean, look at that. You can already tell it's going to be like a huge off the screen figure. Amazing. I really like the colors and like the washes and how specific details were brought up, and you know, come up with the difference in lighting and you know, the color scheme, especially with Gimli, like with his orange hair, and how, you know, it blends in properly with the gold on his helmet. Even though I do feel like it does require some more work to like really make those colors pop a little bit more. So maybe in the near future I'll be actually painting these. Maybe starting with Legolas. When I first actually got these figures, the first impression on Legolas I felt was that he kind of had like this, especially with his face, I kind of felt like his face kind of looked a little too old, and so I had to kind of inspect and really observe and look at the angles of his head sculpt, and really pick that out for myself. And I realized it was probably just like the color and like the washes. It has like a red wash, I believe, over it that kind of gives it a not so appealing look to Legolas. Perhaps on camera it doesn't really capture it as much as I'm seeing here. So this face is probably one that I'll definitely be repainting myself. And apart that, you know, like I really like the colors that they went with. Although I do wish the pants was I believe it was kind of like a grayish silver, almost similar to this, but a little bit darker to his pants, which is something I'll definitely be repainting, apart sculpting the leg. The green I really like too. The brown, maybe you know, some washes over these just to really bring out the detail that, you know, are shown there. Apart from that, I really like the rest of the figure. I really like how all these colors blend in, and the quiver itself too. So some really nice colors. The Gimli too, the Gimli was like the most impressive when I first received it, and I was very happy like with the scope worked, just because you know, compared to the Toy Biz one, which I really like, you know, like I feel like Toy Biz has like the proper colors to him, a little bit more of a dwarvish color. Right here it kind of seems a little bit faded, so I'll probably definitely be repainting like his eyes and tiny little details in there. Although he does look very nice, you know. If I have the time, I'll definitely be repainting these guys. But other than that, I really love, you know, the colors and all the very tiny details. Like, I don't even know what the hell that is. I've never actually seen that. And yeah, I don't know what that is. Interesting though. So not so much work, you know, maybe repainting this to more chainmail colors would make a huge difference too. But other than that, you know, I think it came out great. Great work. And just wow, these figures were quite something. So I'm very happy with the purchase, and I look forward to receiving Aragorn and Moya Orc when they come out. Okay, so now here we have some size comparison with Legolas and Gimli, or more Halder with Legolas right here. And so right off the bat, Gimli is actually quite a taller size than the Toy Biz Gimli, obviously. And Legolas is actually not too far off next to Halder, and I believe he's about the exact same size as Legolas from the Toy Biz line as well. So not way too much off the difference, maybe like an inch, you know, maybe an inch and a half of this other Gimli over here. Here's another view of some other figures. Black Series Commander Cody and Toy Biz Gothmog. And I always forget how tall Gothmog is, and you know, as a figure right next to this Legolas, actually quite tall. Some pretty good sizes actually, not too bad. But yeah, overall these figures were totally worth it, and I very much appreciated the scope work and the fact that Diamond Select Toys decided to take on Middle Earth. So happy with the purchase, and this is my first time doing a video review. I've been wanting to do one for a very long time, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully all the angles were right. I wasn't actually able to look at my phone, which is what I'm using right now at the moment, and so I hope all the angles and, you know, my voice, I kind of have like a little sore throat right now too. Sound a little horrible, but I even picked out this cool I just set up like this War of the North map that I had from the video game a few years back, and Hungarian bow and some Legolas arrow, something just nice and cashing with this deal that I usually use for my DBZ figures. So yeah, comment below. Let me know what you guys think or thought. What I could do to improve. I might be adding some more videos, separate videos of this Legolas and Gimli. Maybe like a 360 view on the round table if you guys are interested. Or I'll definitely be taking pictures and whatnot with them as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.